Welcome to this week's episode of Work the Left Side. It's still 1PW month, it's still April. So, we thought we'd chat about All or Nothing that happened last Saturday. Fucking shit show, ain't it? Totally didn't like it at all. Obviously,
Outlaw Mud Show.
It was a fucking banging show. Loved it. We'll tell you why numerous times throughout this episode. Obviously joined by Mr. AEW Ash.
Greetings, humans.
And my eldest.
And the carpet, apparently.
That couldn't have happened at any better time. Greeting my eldest and now the cat.
Can you guys still see me?
Yeah. You're right now.
I will just put a massive graphic over the front of that. And yes, Logan, you alright, dude?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Cheeks in my using some voodoo on my computer.
Yeah.
As I said, we're here talking about All or Nothing, 1PW show from the Dome last Saturday. Gentlemen, before we go into any great detail, did you enjoy it?
Folks?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think all the titles went to the people I wanted it to, so I think out and out I really enjoyed it. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It's just great. Live wrestling's awesome. I wasn't originally meant to be going to this show because it was my wife's birthday, so I kept the weekend available, but it just so happened that I did end up going in the end, courtesy of our fearless leader, Towers. And I thank you for that. Thank you again. And yeah, we went and had an absolute blast.
That's it, man. Imagine if you'd have missed it, dude. You know what I mean? I'd have had to play it down and come back and be like, no, dude, it was wank. You know, I think, yeah, he did. And inside, I'd be like, dude, it was fucking awesome.
Don't you lie to me.
You'd have been able to see it in my face. I'd have been like that. No. But obviously, you know, titles were crowned. This was the night of crowning the first 1PW tag champions, open weight champion, women's champion, and heavyweight champion. So, you know, I knew it was going to be a banging show. You don't crown champions without making them fucking jump through hoops and actually, you know, just make them work for it. So, and I think they did that on every match where they had the title. Obviously, the heavyweight title, they had qualifying matches before the fatal four-way. The tag titles, they fucking made them go up and down ladders. The women's title, fucking running a gauntlet, and the men's title was 20-minute scramble. So yeah, every match they paid the fucking dues to get that title belt.
It was a damn good show from top to bottom.
We'll start with the first match. As memory serves me right, I do believe the very first one was Ospreay and Bobby Fish.
It was the Billy Goat versus the Fish.
Bobby Fish.
Starting strong, man. You can't really start any stronger than Will Ospreay's music hitting just the moment the show starts. Like, whoa.
Ridiculous, wasn't it?
It was so good.
Still blows my mind. I was like, I just thought it'd be the first one. I just thought it'd be like, you know, Lincoln one, and it was going to be a one-off thing kind of thing. I'd expect him, you know, to come back, and then obviously he's been announced for the next two shows. And obviously we'll go into that more towards the end of the episode. But yeah, like you said, you don't get off to a much sort of a better start than setting the bar with Billy Goat.
Yeah, for sure. It's out of the four qualifiers for obviously the title match, this was like name value the biggest one of the four in my like for name value. So this was a cool experience to see Ospreay and Bobby Fish, and they put on a stellar 10-15 minute doozy, didn't they?
Yeah, hit all the spots. Obviously, Bobby Fish was nailed for, you know, his striking. Dude is just kicking the shit out of Ospreay here and there. Ospreay was doing what Ospreay does, and thought, very good. Like I say, it was a qualifying match as well, so you know they had to sort of be holding on a little bit back, but never got back. It never felt like there was. It wasn't like they was just throwing it in because they knew they had, you know, another match later on.
Yeah, and Ospreay selling the shit out of his shoulder as well, which was to be expected. I was very, very relieved that he was managed to be healthy for this, because I thought when I saw his arm in a sling in Japan, like 5-6 weeks ago, whatever it was, I was like, oh shit, that's him done for a while. No, not the case at all. So great news.
Logan, your take on this one?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm a big fan of both guys outside of the 1PW. So I think to actually see them come against one another in like a tournament style match was just pretty much a dream come true. It's one of the two that I've always fancied watching go at each other, and it did everything. It built up to every expectation I had for it. It was just an absolute banger.
Good man. Second, I want to say, was it Haskins and Ulf?
Certainly was. Good memory. Yep. In a no DQ match.
Just to kind of keep going the ECW feel for Haskins scalps.
Yeah, for sure.
Another as a sidebar, it's another ECW scalp that Haskins can claim. And again, I'll go into more detail when we talk about the Fatal 4, but for me, I think Haskins was the MVP of the night. I just think his performance in the Fatal 4 was absolutely bang on. Mm-hmm. I think he delivered in this match as well. And so did Ulf, to be fair. I mean, I know you two guys didn't see the original 1PW, but Ulf's always going to have a spot in all the original 1PW fans' hearts.
Yeah.
Dude was just like, I could kind of see Lance Archer is booked on the next one. If he keeps coming back, I think he'll be the next gen 1PW Ulf. He's kind of that big, hardcore, I will fuck you up kind of guy. He's kind of like the next Ulf within the 1PW universe for me.
Seems likely. Obviously, like 6'7", you kind of like when you're watching someone on the TV that's really big, kind of don't take into account just how big they are until you see them with your own eyes. Like, fuck me, he's a big dude, man. He just goes on.
All I'm missing is Ulf's entrance. I don't know if it's just health and safety now, but back in the day, he's come out of like the flaming, breathing fire kind of thing, and he's come out like Rammstein's like fire.
Yeah. Ulf's a big guy. I never expected this to be much of a wrestling match. It was always going to be just get utensils, use utensils, and it was about 10 minutes overall, wasn't it?
Yeah, about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Everyone did the job. Obviously, Vicky got involved, as you would expect.
Yeah. That's good.
Much surprise, delight, I think.
Yes.
This is where Frywood just got we was meant to have a fourth member on tonight, but unfortunately he's just finished having a tattoo done, so he can't join us. But those four of us that went, and he was meant to be joining us tonight. And I think at this point we could have just turned off for 5 minutes while he talked about the hotness of Vicky.
Somebody's ass.
We spent 5 minutes talking about Vicky's ass. That's the And now on to the next match.
I'll let you in on a secret. It was Ulf Herman's ass.
I just presumed, man, but appreciate hotness regardless of gender.
Of course.
So as you say, 10-minute match, job done. Everything was bang on, and which takes us to, I want to say, I'll just mention him, obviously Lance Archer versus the show stealer Nathan Cruz. Again, I thought it worked really well. I'm a massive fan of Nathan Cruz. People have heard me sort of, bigging him up lots of times. I bigged him up to you too, like when you weren't really aware of who he was. And again, I just think he did a really good job against a bigger guy, and he sold it like really fucking well.
Be bigger than Nathan Cruz, you've got to be a big guy, because he's not exactly a small person.
No.
He's damn handsome though, Nathan Cruz. Damn handsome. So I enjoyed this. Lance Archer's entrance got me right in the mood. Like he just comes storming out, doing like a lap around the ring, and then doing his "Everybody Dies." It was like, yes, mate, let's go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Is what do you think, Logan? Because obviously you've seen him on AEW. You know, Lance Archer. You've seen Nathan Cruz before. Was you impressed with Lance actually in person? You know, because I think people give off a different aura when you see him in person. In a ring.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. When I saw him in person, like even just watching him walk the like little entranceway, because obviously there isn't a ramp, is there? It's just like obviously the floor, and then they have to step up to the ring. But yeah, just watching him walk to the ring and just circling it, the guy's freaking huge.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I mean, look up at him like, why are you so tall? And why are you so big?
And wide with it as well, kind of thing. He just looks the part. You can kind of sort of see, you know, why. Again, I think it's one of those guys that TV doesn't do justice to, kind of thing. You know, they try and sort of get across like the Murder Hawk. You know, he's just like fucking this force. But when you see him, you just kind of like, yeah, the dude looks like he looks like a force.
Yeah,
he's and I hope he does.
You see him in person.
Yeah, I know he's booked for the next show. I hope he's booked for the next few. Like I said, I hope he becomes like a regular, you know, like an import, but still like a 1PW home star kind of thing. Even though he's an import, he's still classed him as one of your own. Like I said, that's what we used to do with Ulf.
Yeah.
And yeah,
he posted on Instagram that he'd been for a tattoo doing that day. So he'd had a massive back piece done, like I think it was like wings and a cross or whatever. But yeah, he'd been for a massive back piece tattoo and then come to wrestle in the evening. Because you know, why not?
That just makes any back bumps even more sort of like
mental.
It's quite cool. It's quite cool. He's arranged to have a tattoo done over here, though. He must have had an artist in mind ahead of time. So that's cool.
Like a few months beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So that obviously left us with the last. Well, we'll go through. Obviously, Ospreay beat Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
Obviously, Haskins beat Ulf. Lance beat Cruz, which was a 50-50 for me. I kind of originally thought it would be all the English guys in the final.
I thought so too, yeah.
But yeah, that kind of makes me think like Lance is going to become a sort of regular. But yeah, obviously Lance went over Cruz. But I'm going to put that down to Matt Myers not being there. I think if Myers had been there, Cruz would have got the victory.
Maybe, yeah.
And if he didn't get his nunchucks, knuckle dusters. Because I think he got caught pulling something out, and the ref caught it. And then that's what,
D'Lo got involved, didn't he?
D'Lo, yeah. I was going to say which match was it when D'Lo came down? Because I was like, is it this match that we're talking about now, or was it the Haskins match? I was just like, mind is like a soup.
He tried to obviously be cheat. Basically, he tried to use some form of equipment to hit Lance Archer with, and then that's when D'Lo came out, and because the ref got knocked out, if you remember.
Yeah.
So then obviously the ref were down, so he thought, right, this is my chance. I'll pull out something and I'll try and hit him with it. And that's when D'Lo came out with the ref shirt in his hand and was like, "Ha! I'm a ref." No. And obviously Lance knocked him.
And Fry was like, "Do your head thing."
I was literally about to say that. D'Lo, do your head thing.
Yeah, Lance obviously knocked him out and he beat him with the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, man, we might get a Nathan Cruz versus D'Lo at some point. I'd be quite happy for that.
Yeah.
I think Cruz could. I don't know what kind of ring shape D'Lo's in, but I think Cruz is more than a professional enough to be able to work that match. So if they do go down that route at some point, I'll be quite happy to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Last of the qualifiers was obviously the Black Swan, Cara Noir versus the Governor, Martin Stone.
Yeah.
Obviously, people know from NXT he's going to tag team with Oney Larkin. Got to be part of Pat McAfee's, well, how you say his name, obviously group in NXT. For a brief time, they were kind of like backing Pat with Pete Dunne.
Danny Birch, wasn't it?
Yeah. Danny Birch.
Danny Birch.
So
Pete Dunne.
Tony. And then obviously got let go. It's back over here now. I was always a massive fan of. I remember, first time around. He's a former 1PW champion from the original 1PW, and it was nice to see him back on home shores. And obviously working with Cara, it was just an awesome clash of sort of styles.
It was, like Smash Mouth and just like graceful, I suppose you could say, to for Cara Noir. But Stone set upon himself to work on Cara Noir's toes and feet. He was twisting those piggies. And at one point he didn't he ask the crowd for a shoe.
I think somebody just offered him the shoes.
He had shoes from 2 points fly at him, and he put a shoe on Cara Noir, and I'll never get the thought of Cara Noir wearing shoes out of my mind ever again, because it just completely spoils the aesthetic. But it was good fun, all in good fun. But it was a good match, and it seems that I was unaware of this until Stone had a little promo after the match, and was basically like he thought he'd ended his career through an injury, a shoulder injury, I believe, of which it's kept him out for the best part of 2 years. He's had surgeries. He thought his career was over, and he was extremely happy and quite emotional to be back. So fucking A for Martin Stone. And good stuff.
What do you think, Logan? Did you enjoy it? You obviously you got your picture taken with Cara last time round. I know you were a Noir fan.
I absolutely love the guy. I think he's kind of like a British Riddle. He's a similar sort of, barefooted, technical, prefers to stay
ground-based
on the mat, ground and pound, that sort of thing, rather than your typical, I'm just going to stand there and throw fists at you. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep you on the floor and I'm going to beat you up.
Yeah.
But it was such a good match. I really enjoyed it. It was just nice to see Martin Stone in person, because I quite enjoyed him back in his NXT days. So to actually see what he can do in person and the way he works and the way he put over Cara was just spot on.
That promo afterwards, when he was just like saying, obviously he's kind of been away, not kept too much of an eye on the scene, but obviously been hearing bits and bobs, and obviously Cara's name would come up, and it's like sort of saying, then afterwards like saying, I believe the hype, the hype is real. And it's just a massive endorsement for Cara. It's just like, this guy is, a potential future. But he is. He's not even a potential. He is a future, heavy champion. Basically, at some point he will have that belt, as well as many other. Right, quick sidebar. I saw a picture of freaking Doris on social media earlier, and he's got like 10 belts. He's just kind of stood there like the freaking Homo Dragon picture. And he's literally got like 10 belts on him. He's just stood there like that. Like freaking, I've got 3 over his neck, 4 on each arm, around his waist. Like Jesus whip.
Belt collector.
Basically. So that's obviously going to be the same with Cara. It's the thing with a lot of the British guys. Just that it must be that hard to decide, who gets the belts. But Cara's got to be always in people's top 5s for contention for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, that kind of takes us to the next match, because the next match was the ladder match for the first next gen 1PW tag team champions.
It was Subculture versus Bullet Club. Too sweet, whoop whoop. Versus Boisterous Behavior versus a solo. A solo. Zachary Wentz, because for some reason that's not been announced. Trey Miguel did not make it over, so he represented the Rascals all by his lonesome, and did a good job. To be fair,
yes, he did.
Can't have been easy.
Again, well, obviously people who don't know Subculture, Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, obviously from WWE NXT UK. Mark Andrews from Impact back in the day, the second British Tough Enough thing that they did. So a lot of talent in this match. Obviously, Chris Bay, Ace Austin, Bullet Club representatives. And Derice and Leon Slater, who still blows my mind. The kid's freaking 18 years old.
Crazy, man.
Ridiculous.
Crazy. Talented boy.
Logan, I'll let you take this one first. What was your thought on this match?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I mean, I'm a big fan of a lot of the teams. Like, obviously, I've seen Boisterous Behaviour. Is it Boisterous? Yeah. Boisterous Behaviour a couple of times. Obviously, I saw him first time at 1PW. Was it in Doncaster last time, or did they appear in Lincoln? I can't remember.
I think they were a team in Lincoln. Yeah. There was singles last time.
Then technically, because obviously I saw him.
Derice was by himself at the first Dome show.
Yeah.
And then they went to the team at Lincoln. Yeah.
But yeah, no, just watching them too. I really like him. I think out of the 1PW tag team division, I think they're probably one of my favourites. So I was quite pleased when they got the titles. I mean, like I said, I wasn't exactly going to be disappointed no matter who got it. Even if Bullet Club got it, I'd have still been happy because, yet again, it's another way of promoting the company and getting more eyes on it. If you give it to an establishment like Bullet Club and how popular Ace Austin and stuff are, if anything, it's doing you a favour. It's getting more people over and stuff. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I've really enjoyed it. And when they set that ladder on the outside, it was just every time someone went over and you just kind of looked like, is he going to hit that? Is he going to miss it? And they just missed it every time. And it was like,
yeah, that made me nervous. I don't like ladders across from ring to sort of railings kind of thing. Always makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, someone's going to go over the top rope and just bend that ladder. Took shit. So, Ash, I bet you've got to take this.
Yeah, it was loads of fun, dude. Some fun bumps. Bumps.
What else?
Fun bumps. So, Zachary Wentz got thrown off through a ladder. Was that right, or was it some kind of slam?
Yeah.
So, like that must suck so badly. Like smashing a ladder in half with your own torso. And then the subculture with the ladders between the legs and Bush's behaviour was like giving them the ride of the life in the worst possible way. It was great, dude. Boisterous behaviour, worthy champions. I've said a couple of times already on previous episodes that Derice is just a star. Like, presents himself like a star, works great. People love him. And with the whole 1, 2, 1, it's just loads of fun. And they complement each other really well. Leon Slater being 18 years of age is just wild. And hell yeah. Seeing Bullet Club in person as well, which was current Impact Tag Champs. So seeing those belts in person was also really, really cool. And again, Zachary Wentz did a great job being a solo tag team.
And well wishes to Chris Bay. Hope he's all right. I don't really know much about what's happened since, but I know he took a nasty ass bump, towards the end of the match. So fingers crossed he's all right.
He posted to say that he's fine, absolutely fine. Great. And cool. This is why people should hold ladders when people are on top of them.
I don't care if it looks a little bit questionable. Just for safety reasons, just freaking hold it. As a wrestling fan, we will spend our disbelief just a little bit more, just for the enjoyment factor and safety factor. Just hold the freaking ladder.
Or if you want to interpret into the actual match, just get someone to foot the ladder, but make it look like the climbing ladder. If someone's about to jump, like try to chase him up it, and then he jumps off while they're footing it, as if they're climbing it. That little bit, the ladder's not shaking everywhere, because if you watched the ladder that was in the center of that ring, I don't think that stayed still the entire time. It was constantly moving. It didn't stay still.
Always makes me laugh though. Obviously, as fans, we sit there, we watch it, and we always kind of like question. I know obviously it's done to play up the drama and stuff. When they're going up the ladder slowly and stuff.
Yeah.
But bet you my left fucking testicle, like if we was in that ring trying to climb that ladder, we'd be shaky hell. We'd be like that as well, like fucking hell. This is too shaky.
on the padding of the ring as well, so it's not going to be on a stable base to
Yeah,
start
that's
with.
what I mean. Yeah, so it's going to be like amplified or magnified tenfold actually just there. So yeah, anytime anybody does anything with a ladder, man, I've just got to salute them and say, you know what I mean, rather you than me, but thank you. So yeah, boisterous beer. Darius, man, Darius is, let's say, everything about him screams star. It's not just his moveset or, you know, like way. You watch how he sells, his facial expressions are next level. I was watching him, and he took a beat at some point, so he took a move and he kind of bounced back up, and it's just his face was selling it, and it was just like, yes, man, that is just speaks volumes for me. The fact that he can get 0-1-2-1 over outside of Birmingham speaks volumes for me. So, yeah, banging match, and that obviously led us to the intermission. Where everybody just had a nice chill out for 15 minutes, go get a drink, and you know, have a chill. And then we came back, and after the nice calm intermission, everything settled down again. Shit hit the fan for 20 minutes, and 6 men just jumped around very fucking rapidly and beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, the open weight title scramble, which was Leo Rush versus Robbie X, Luke Jacobs, Callum Newman, Scotty Rourke, friend of the channel, and Frankie Kazarian. Yep. So yeah, fuck hell, a lot of talent there, boys. A lot of talent.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It was
what do you guys think? I know obviously the big name, not the big name. Obviously Frankie is like the massive name. Is Impact, AEW, first AEW. No, he wasn't, because that was Christopher Daniels and Scorpio, but it's part of SCU, first tag champs in AEW. But for the internet fans, for the wrestling smart marks, the big name is Leo Rush. You know, how did you guys sort of find him? You know, were you impressed? You know, did he kind of like the little money maker live up to the hype?
Yeah, well, I'm going to use an old Jim Ross terminology, and he is literally quicker than a hiccup. Oh my words, the guy's lightning. Very, very, very talented dude. Good to really cool to see live. It's kind of frustrating that he just can't stay in one place for very long. It seems it just gets itchy feet, whatever the case. Because he's talented. I loved seeing him on AEW last year, or was it last year? But yeah, guy can talk as well, but that's probably what gets him in a little bit of heated moments. Yeah. But yeah, he's really, really, really awesome. So yeah, I had fun, lots of fun watching this.
Yeah, what's your takes on it, Leo? Folks, did you enjoy it?
Oh no, I liked it. It was just trying to follow him. That was the problem. Like 1 minute he's there, next minute he's over there, and I'm just like
a pinball machine.
Yeah,
literally tennis
bouncing around. It's like dum, dum. Yeah, no, the guy's what he does in the ring is just yet again next level. It's very hard to find someone that does what he does in the ring.
But saying that, I think we have currently got somebody who's on par with, if not only a step behind, obviously Robbie X. Alan Mann, the Prince of Pace. I'm impressed with him every time. He's not a name yet that's on a lot of people's tongues that I know of, but the
I don't know why.
The Prince of Pace is awesome. Yeah, and Luke Jacobs as well. You know, he's obviously he was the more grounded one out of a lot of them. The dude throws a clothesline like a motherfucker. So as good as Leo was, as good as Kaz was, you know, I think the British guys more than stood their own.
Oh, they definitely held their own. They definitely showed what they could do without. And
Scotty, well, obviously Scotty's boss.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And everybody got chance to be at least interim champion until the following pin. I think Kaz got 2 pins, I believe.
Yes.
And Robbie X ended up getting the win, but it took him to the final 35 seconds in which to get said win. And then there was a massive dog pile, wasn't there? Like as the clock was counting down, Robbie X had just got the pin, and literally everyone just jumps on him trying to get him, trying to get the pin.
Just literally, like 10 seconds, right? Let's all just see if we can catch him.
I like that because as I don't know, as superficial as it might be, you can turn around and be like, yeah, man, Frankie, Kazarian's been a 1PW openweight champion. Leo Rush has been a 1PW openweight champion.
Yeah.
All guys they claim to have been, even if it was just inaugural, there's an asterisk next to them and their name has been champion. And that's like 6 people that have been held that belt already, kind of thing, for, previous holders. Yeah, man, I just think that's awesome. It just kind of reminded me back in the day. I mean, WWE, I know, experimented with this, I think, for about 2 years and then kind of gave it up. But I remember once, like, they did one and fucking Brian Kendrick, Spanky was involved in it. So, for 10 seconds, Spanky had been WWE World Champion. It always kind of made me laugh. I was like, yeah, go on, Spanky. You've had your, 10 seconds. Yeah, man, I like the format of the match. I think it's hard to work sometimes because, like I say, even WWE kind of gave up on it. They only did it a few times, and they've never ever done it since. And I think that was about 15 years ago.
I think it's kind of a one and done sort of thing. You do it once, or maybe once every couple of pay-per-view sort of thing.
Yeah,
maybe twice a year. So I do it. So now they probably won't do it again till back end of year if they play it right. Because it's definitely not like looks of it. It's not an easy match to run.
No, I think that's the problem. It's a solid 20 minutes, and you've got everything's kind of got to be so spot on. Because if one thing goes amiss, it'll be a domino effect, and it'll just fuck it up, for however long is left in the match. So kudos to all 6 guys. It looked like it ran fucking smooth. Everybody sort of did the things. Everybody, like I said, everybody got the pins. I felt a bit sorry for Scotty at first because he seemed to be the one eating the first 2 or 3 pins.
It was 3 pins.
But then he got a pinfall himself, so he got the title. It's like, yes, go on, Scotty. And then, like you say, Bobby X, the deserving, champ for me. He's Mr. 1PW. It's been well stated. He started his training off, at 1PW. He used to go to 1PW when he was a kid, saw all these guys, and that's what kind of inspired him. So I don't think they could have put it on anyone better.
No, absolutely, Mr. 1P
Yeah.
So a damn fine choice.
Exactly.
And Kazarian gave him the rub after the match, didn't he, as well? Held his hand up and stuff. So that must have meant the world to Robbie as well. So
I was going to say, whether we'll admit it or not, freaking 8-year-old Robbie's marking the hell out at that moment in time. So I will ask him as of when I can eventually freaking pin him down to the show. So
challenge him to a title scramble match, and you might get to pin him then.
It's going to happen. I tried to sweeten him up with some artwork at the show as well, so I'm doing my best.
Sprinkling that magic all over Mr.
Robbie. So after this, it was the Scouse of Bird. Oh, we had 2 Scouse, maybe 3 Scouse Birds.
It was 3, yeah. So it was the women's world title gauntlet. So Lizzie Evo, as we all knew, was coming out first because she ate the pin in Lincoln last time. Zia Brookside, or Zaya, I'm not quite sure how to say it. Zaya, she came out second, also from Liverpool, daughter of Robbie Brookside. Versus I don't remember the exact order, but I'll just list the rest of the ladies. Millie McKenzie, who is also from Liverpool, was that correct? I've heard of her name. I'd heard the name before, but I never knew she was from Liverpool until the other night. Versus Tonga, versus Nina Samuels, versus Danny Luna, who's cool. Versus Amale, I think that's how you say her name, versus Session Moth, who came out last because she got the pin last time, didn't she? Right?
Yeah, she got
pinned Lizzie, didn't she? Yeah. So this was a damn fine showcase for all the ladies, lots of talented ladies, and I'm dead biased, so the right one won. So I'm happy.
That's it. Logs, you enjoy the match?
Oh yeah.
You're happy with the result?
I'm happy with
the result. Are you happy with how it played out? I want to ask this question. All right, are you happy with the way that the match played out with like the injury angle, the sort of the dastardliness.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, in all fairness, if it weren't for me watching your episode with her on your podcast, like I think I watched it a couple of days before, I wouldn't have realised that's why she spent. Obviously, I knew she was injured, but I didn't know to what extent. But then obviously, I know she mentioned it because she was doing a show in Ireland a couple of weeks before that, wasn't it, or a couple of nights before, whenever it was. So that obviously helped sell the injury, which I thought was quite nice. So I think they did the right thing, and it protected her, but also let her do the heel thing she does, where she's like, "Yep," and then she obviously, because then afterwards she was like, "Yeah, I'm fine," but like notes, like nothing ever happened. So I enjoyed it, and it did what it needed to do, and I think
everybody involved was good. Saya was good. Millie was good. Everybody did the job.
Yeah, and I think it set up a quite nice rivalry, if I remember correctly, between her and Sasha. I think it was Sasha, wasn't it? Because I know they obviously before the match they did a snippet of an interview they did or some press conference. So I thought that's going to be quite nice to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Leading up to the next pay-per-view, whether Sasha's going to be the first one to challenge her for the women's title, or if they're going to put someone else before Sasha, or how they're going to play it. But that's just a waiting game. But it was enjoyable.
I mean, Session and Lizzie have got a really sort of cool sort of past. They work together a lot. I mean, obviously, people who watch the show, saw the interview, know. I mean, they fought each other in Dubai, like at a Progress show. They've worked together numerous times. And Lizzie said, Session's got a great mind for it. She'll come up with something, and then Session like, no, we'll try this. And it's like, okay, that's fucking amazing. Right, okay, that's awesome. So there's a lot of mutual respect there between them two. But I think there's also obviously a friendly rivalry as well, which I just think they'll both help push each other up level after level. Tonga, we've seen a few shows now. I think she's obviously one to watch. She comes in. Anybody who's watching this around the Yorkshire area, you'll have seen her at like Tidal and True Grit and stuff as well. She's definitely on the fast track up. She's very good at what she does. And sorry, Brookside and Millie McKenzie as well. Absolute boss. You mentioned Nina Samuels. I don't think Nina Samuels, I know she was advertised for being there, but I don't know whether again my eyesight, if I drank too much. I don't think Nina turned up because you had the last that was with Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan.
That was Danny Luna.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I might be wrong. I might have just been that focused on other people, but I thought she looked good as well, and it just looked awesome. I think the women's division looks strong. You had 6-7 women in there who you could quite easily build, a division around. And obviously they'll pull other people over as well, like they have done before. When we get to see Jamie Hayter again, Ruby Soho, other sort of imports. There's plenty of top class women like Tyre's
already been over,
So it's a good division, and it's being led by very deserving, talented. As I said with Robbie X-Man, I just think it's the right person, right choice, and I'm not being biased in any way, shape, or form. It's not a lie. That's the gospel truth.
Lizzie's the one, man. Yeah. There was a guy, I forget his name. Just having a little grumble about how the match played out the other day. And he wasn't happy about the whole, just Lizzie being outfitted basically the entire match or whatever. And I was just like, well, she was on we're at the left side the other day, and she said that she's got a legit hurt ankle. So in my imagination, it was just basically protecting the end goal. She was always the end goal for the title, and it protected her and got a heat by Bo Joy, I believe was the name of the absolute hench.
Oh yeah,
that got in the ring, and won the match for her, basically. The fake paramedic, or whatever you want to call it. So and Lizzie, I probably breaking kayfabe here a little bit, like, but she sent me a message on Facebook, which she didn't have to do at all, thanking me for, you know, explaining or sticking up for her or whatever. She's a lovely person, but she's a dastardly heel. So
no, she's not. She's horrible. It should be booed at every show.
Yeah.
horrible person who needs to be booed.
Yeah.
And not applauded.
The most lovable little shit.
It was one of those things where it was like, although she's a heel, she's loved that much that you were like, you have no choice but to cheer her, because although she's supposed to be a heel, you can't help but get behind her.
Yeah, obviously we talked about this, and I think it's very much the kind of like, you cheer until she gets a mic in her hand, and then she's got you in the palm of her hand, and besides you, Ash, obviously, because she'll just be
don't boo me.
But yeah, 87% of the the Dome fans will just then start telling her to shut the fuck up, and she'll just laugh. Nope. So yeah, you'll cheer her until she gets that mic in her hand, and then
I have the mic, I have the power.
Exactly, and that's when you start booing, and that is a good heel. That's like, you know what? It's like MJF kind of thing. You know what I mean? You kind of hear him until he starts talking, then you're like, oh, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. You're a gobshite. Did you see the little video? Did you see the little video 1PW posted the other day of like as Lizzie was walking back through the curtain, having just won the title, she was in floods of tears, just like completely overwhelmed with emotion and stuff. I thought it was a really, really lovely little video, but I could see why some people were like, this breaks kayfabe or doesn't work with their character or whatever. But I was just like, shut up. These people just need to shut up.
Exactly, man. It's like
just enjoy it for what it is.
Exactly. And when they're in the ring, believe the character. When they're outside of the ring, it's like going up to somebody in the street who's like a fucking twat on a soap opera, and then getting in his face for being a twat on a soap opera. Like, dude, it's a character.
Well,
don't fucking never go at me for being like a fucking twat. So, but yeah, so that's wrestling fans. I hate to break it to you, it's not real. Most of these people are lovely people. They're adorable. All right, they may play dastardly, heelish people in the ring, but for the most part, they're all right.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure MJF is a really, truly lovely person. I've seen people talking about MJF. Yeah, he's a massive a-hole.
I can imagine him being a white. No, actually, he's the exception. I believe. I think he might actually just be an absolute ball ache. But I'm gonna joke. Always adorable. I'm sure he goes around and kisses puppies and stuff. So, right. So we are at the main event. We obviously have Lance Archer, Mark Haskins, Cara Noir, who came out first, telling his fucking GBH pinkies. So I put his shoes on, and then obviously the goat. Just no messing about, man. There's just straight into it. Obviously, fatal 4-way for the title. I loved Archer's little promo where the fatal 4-way was a very apt name because everybody dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Again, this for me was just fucking say that everybody had already had a match. This just hit the ground running. I loved my first memory of the first 5 minutes was Ospreay and Archer, with Ospreay just trying to knock him down, and you just saw the frustration of Ospreay. Ospreay even stood in front of him and like, and it was just kind of like it was a different take on the Ospreay that we know. We've never kind of seen Ospreay just get frustrated and be like, you fucker.
Yeah. So it's been against kind of evenly sized kind of people for the most part. So going against someone that's like a fridge.
Yeah.
Fridge on legs.
Cara running into him like 10 times, just trying to like shoulder tackle him. Lance was just stood there like, no. Cara was like, and again, bang, no, not happening.
No, just not moving.
The highlight of this match for me, it just popped into my head now. I was trying to think of stuff to type down earlier, but yeah, the highlight of this match was it was Haskins in the corner, and it was Ospreay chopping the fuck out of him. And then Cara comes over and they have like a little like standoff, and then they just both start chopping Haskins, and then he just goes, "Stop chopping me!" And then literally Archer just marches over, gets in between the two of them, and it just starts chopping me. Oh, I love little silly bits in in wrestling. It's everything.
that was it for me, and that's why I rate Haskins as being like an MVP for me. Haskins was pivotal in that fatal 4-way, man. It just would not have worked as well without him. I just think he played it so well. Because actually, really, he was the only heel in that match. So the other three guys kind of had to team up on him a little bit. Then obviously they joined forces to take out Archer. We got a table involved. It was teased that Vicky was going to go through the table, and so we got a Shield powerbomb for Archer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was loads of fun.
But you enjoy it? Who was your MVP for this match? Obviously, I've said mine. Do you think everybody just did a banging job? Did anybody stand out more than anybody else?
Do you know what? I don't think I could pick one person in particular, which I wouldn't exactly see as a bad thing, because that just shows that they all did a good job. Like, there wasn't anyone that was, say, above anyone else. They were all kind of, and especially to say they all had a match previously, and to then come in and do what they did. But yeah, it's just the way they sort of like tease what looks to be like a Haskins Archer kind of rivalry thing, where it was like he kind of looked at him and went straight at him, and he's like, "You've annoyed me now, so I'm just going to run straight at you. I don't even give a monkeys about the other two. I'm just going straight at you." And it's just like, wow, I just want to see that. Please, just give me them one-on-one. I don't care where it is, Doncaster, Lincoln, wherever. Just give me the match.
I was looking that.
Absolutely.
Sorry, dude, go on.
No, it's fine. It's just, and like I said, I'm a massive Cara fan since last time I saw him. When I was able to get my picture with him, he's genuinely a sound dude. Like I got to talk to him for about 2 or 3 minutes after, got to shake his hand and just got to talking to him and said obviously thanks for what you did and stuff in the ring, and it was just like, yeah, he was just an absolute sound guy. Genuinely, the stuff he does is just, it's brilliant.
The spectacle that is Cara Noir.
Yes,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, graceful.
It's fucking cool though. Yeah.
But that's not taking anything away from the other three, because the other three, I mean, it's Will Ospreay, Lance Archer, and Mark Haskins. Like, you can't get any better than those three. Some would argue.
As a fatal 4-way goes, those 4 names. Wow, what a fucking lineup of a match. So good.
And again, I know. Obviously, when I showed somebody a poster, and there was a bit like, "Oh, it's a very import-heavy poster." It's like, obviously, eyes on the prize. To get people looking at the show. But what I like about the 1PW at the minute is the British guys are booked on an even keel with like these stars, and the stars are being used very well to make these guys look like absolute fucking superstars.
Yeah.
And I think this show proved that again, kind of thing. Obviously, you had Lance in the final with these 3. Everybody stood their own ground. Nobody looked out of place. Nobody looked like they shouldn't be there. And it all just worked very, very well. And I think, like I say, 1PW is doing that very well at the minute. I think it's a thin line. It could go one way or the other at any point. At the minute, they're absolutely sort of nailing it, and they're on the right side of the line, making the British guys look like fucking stars.
Yeah,
doing it the right way.
That'll be all right.
Yeah, doing it the right way. The import stars are what gets people's attention, I guess, because the ones that you'll see more likely on TV weekly and stuff like that, they'll get your attention. But then seeing them go up against some of the British talent, and British talent sometimes winning, can only do the world of good. So good times.
And it's just crazy. I just think, obviously you mentioned about the chopping. obviously, you know, we got to see Ospreay again. Ospreay was boss. Do you think did you have a standout person, or do you think that they all kind of delivered in spades?
I thought they all delivered equally, to be fair. The only thing I will say is that there was me and you were both like, Haskins is winning this, like going into the show, didn't we? But then there was a point during the match I turned to you and we both kind of just thought, is Ospreay winning this because of the star name value? And then lo and behold, the new 1PW World Heavyweight Champion was Mr. Billy Goat Will Ospreay.
Yeah,
but
which makes tons of sense. You know, it's exposure. I think we were worried about, obviously, I know he's booked for Lincoln, but I didn't know if he's going to be getting booked for August. But then it was announced that he's booked on the next 2 shows at least, kind of thing. So it's like, okay, it's believable now that he could. For me, Haskins was the logical choice for future bookings, kind of thing, and it's very credible. But yeah, if Ospreay is booked for the next 2 shows minimum, yeah, but you know, it makes sense to have the belt on him, I suppose. You know, he's not going to turn up at Forbidden Door rocking the 1PW belt.
Legit, you know? I hope so, because last year he turned up wearing the Rev Pro World Title. So why the fuck wouldn't he? Yeah. And that would be incredible for 1PW to have that kind of exposure, and then being on New Japan TV every week wearing it as well. I hope he does wear it. I really, really do, because that would be so fucking sick for them.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think he will.
Will taking it through the airports, but yeah.
Yeah, well, FTR can carry 6 belts between them to Mexico and England and stuff. I'm sure they'll manage. But yeah, with you saying Ospreay is on the next show, he's going up against the indie guard Matt Cardona in Lincoln, which is just silly. Because for me, this is heel versus heel. Because Ospreay gave us a rather heely promo after the whole kerfuffle and after the match, and then subsequent kerfuffle and stuff like that. So the less said about the kerfuffle.
It was just a kerfuffle, just to set the record straight. There was no riot. It was just a kerfuffle.
Yeah. And then he basically said that 1PW was the drizzling shits and that he was the Billy Goat. And then he got the fuck out of there with the title, so cool. But yeah, Matt Cardona, holy shit! It's gonna be so much fun, that match.
I think Cardona's gonna get treated like a face, though, and you know what I mean. He's gonna come over, and the fans are just gonna pop huge.
Yeah,
they're just gonna be like, I'll be like, obviously, he's making his mark on the indies, like you say, he's the indie god. But I'm still just waiting for some woo.
Oh, dearie me. You need to buy yourself an indie god indie hat that he's selling them. You need one. Nick. You just need one.
But if they've got them at the merch tables, man, I'll pick up one. I'll buy one. I will want that indie hat. It could be my new hat for the shows.
that would be incredible.
So I was looking sidebar in it, man. They've got obviously with the Lincoln shows. I sort of said last time. I'm not a big fan. Some people might love it and stuff. I just don't like being on a level ground because it makes it tricky to see when things are on the map. So I was looking at just standing for the Lincoln. And I'm an old school wrestling fan. I've been to enough freaking shows where I've stood up for 3 or 4 hours. It's not an issue. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Well, it's a future conversation for off the air as to whether you guys think you can stand up for 3 or 4 hours, as to whether it's doable. I'm all for it. You know, but
Logan can give me a piggyback.
If anything, it should be the other way around. It should be you piggybacking me.
Oh no, I disagree. Surely you muscular beast can carry the 6'3", 21 stone motherfucker.
You and Fry will be alright. You're like 6'5", 6'4", 6'3". Me and Logan will be like that.
It'll be the other way around. I'll have to have my dad on my shoulder.
We can just all get on each other's shoulders like the fucking Megazord or something.
On shoulder as a kid. Like, with you see now.
with Nick on top wearing the indie god hat.
I'll just have a little whip as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Lincoln show, man. Obviously, we'll address that before we go because they've announced some of that, and I know you're excited for a name that got announced for August.
Holy shit!
But
Holy shit!
we'll come to that.
Holy shit!
In a second. As a whole, obviously, All or Nothing. It pretty much, the name summed it up for me, man. It was like going to be fucking balls to the wall. It was All or Nothing at this show. The crowning champions. It's either going to be they feel like champions or it's just not going to feel right. And for me, it ticked all the boxes. There was nothing on that show that left me dissatisfied. People who grumbled about X, Y, or Z, just get over it, man. It was a banging show. Everybody put a shift in. Everybody did themselves proud. Everybody represented. And I just think, yeah, for me personally, obviously, I can't put words into mouths. I came away from that show absolutely fucking hyped. That's probably one of the best shows I've been to in a long time.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome.
That's the general feeling. Everybody happy?
Oh yeah, it was all or nothing. It was all.
Yeah, it was more
underlined and circled several times. Absolutely tremendous showing from top to bottom. Everyone was awesome.
Yeah.
All the champions more than worthy.
Yeah.
Good times.
Right, we've mentioned obviously Cardona. Ash, who's at the Dome in August?
Oh, don't even get me started, dude. So I've been watching a guy called Speedball Mike Bailey in Impact and on the Indies and for like the past year and a half, and I'm just a fucking huge fan. And he was announced for the next Doncaster show in August. So when I saw his face like appear on the Tron,
ectoplasm picture.
Holy shit! Like yeah, literally just. I'm a big fan. The guy's amazing, and I can't wait to see him in the flesh.
There's no doubt about it. You will be at the August show.
Yeah, dude.
I just need Rhino there with him as well.
I just need to conjure money out of thin air because I don't have any, and I've got stuff to pay for. Yeah, so I'm saving up for the All In show. Tickets go on sale. Sorry. This is a 1PW show, but yeah, tickets go on sale next Tuesday if you've registered with Ticketmaster. Anybody that's listening and interested.
I meant to tell you about that because you said you were going to be going away when the tickets went on sale. I got an email through the other day about that. I meant to tell you, so apologies. But yeah, you could pre-register to get 2 days early, kind of thing.
I pre-registered as soon as the link went up, but I must have forgot that the going up on the Tuesday. So basically, there's like 3 opportunities. So if you pre-registered on Ticketmaster, you can get them on Tuesday. If they sell out, you can get O2 priority pre-sale on the Wednesday, and then I think there's like a Live Nation pre-sale or something on the Thursday, and then they go on general sale on Friday. So basically, by the time general sale go on sale on Friday, it's going to be fucking sold out.
Hopefully it will be because all the success to them, kind of thing. But yeah, as Logan mentioned, Rhino's going to be back in August. John Morrison is back in August. Obviously, after being at Lincoln, we've got James Storm, the Cowboy, at the next Lincoln show. So you got Matt Cardona and James Storm.
Shigehiro Irie as well, who is a name I really need to look into because I've never heard of his name, which I feel kind of ashamed about. But
there's not much wrestling out there, man. We've got to miss
everybody.
That's it. There's that much stuff out there, man. You're going to miss some people. And that's the joy of it, man. That's the joy, right? When shows like this introduce people and you go searching for them, you go down that rabbit hole, and then it's like, okay, yeah, shit, this is awesome. This is good. This is giving me like 3 years worth of back stuff to watch now. I'm going to watch lots of the stuff. Obviously, James Storm is James Storm. I'd be even more hyped if Bobby Roode had got his release and we could have a bit of money reunion. But wishing obviously Bobby Roode to get sacked because it's a payday, so hopefully he keeps his job in WWE for a long time. It's just me being a selfish fan and a massive beer money mark. So
glorious. I really hope we get Pac at a 1PW show like very soon because I'm just chomping at the bit to see this guy live because I've never had the chance, and Zack Sabre Jr. as well for that matter. They should be both all in, hopefully with them being English and stuff. But besides the point. Like, I just want to see these guys so badly. I'm a big Zack Sabre Jr. fan. Watched shitloads of his matches. Fucking A.
They're definitely two dream future bookings, I would say. Obviously, Pac's got connections to the original 1PW. Obviously, he leveled up after facing AJ Styles. So, yeah, that's two names I would definitely pop huge for if they were announced.
Hell yeah.
The UK as well. So I think that's definitely become more possible because he's actually currently living in the UK at the moment. So it's obviously easier to access because he doesn't have to worry about, flying over and being jet lagged or anything like that because he's already here. It's just a case of him getting from Newcastle.
Yeah, driving down the road for like
whichever
an hour,
one decides to.
About an hour and a half drive. Not far.
So Pac don't get jet lagged anyway because Pac's the man that gravity forgot.
Woohoo!
Gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up on that though, because I could spend ages talking about the next two shows, but we'll save them for future 1PW months. And man, as a whole, I think to bullet point the show, job done, awesome, quality, and it was a scuffle, not a riot, and that's it really.
Mad props to 1PW.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ash, do you want to plug your socials and whatnot?
Yeah, sure. So my Instagram's always the way to go with me. So my personal is @Tankle_Grimoire, and I run the at the left side Instagram page, which is @WTLS316. Get in touch, talk to me. I like to talk.
I noticed a Viking sort of mentioned you in the story the other day. That was cool.
Vikingo's cool, man. I've spoken to him a couple of times. I've always had to use like Google Translate and stuff, but I've had brief interactions with him on maybe 2 or 3 occasions. He's cool, man. I like when people acknowledge that people are fans and stuff. So we had a story reshared from Sean Spears the other day.
Yeah.
And that was cool. You don't get a lot of that, but when you do, it makes you feel good. So hell yeah.
It does. Out of 10, what would you give it? That feeling, what would you give it? 10. There we go. Well played. Logan,
I'll give it a solid 1.
Is that just after looking at the fine horses? So, Logan, you got? Do you want to? I think you obviously post more on the Facebook, work the left side.
I'm more active on Facebook, so yeah, just find me on the Facebook page, and if you want to chat wrestling, I'm more than happy to sit and chat wrestling.
That's it. Obviously, Facebook, Insta, and yours truly is the Twitter mug. It's WTLS 420. Light them up if you got one, and same on TikTok, WTLS 420. It's just highlights of Dynamite or shows that I've been to. I just like making random highlight video reels. I think it's pretty cool. That's what TikTok's. If you're not going to do stupid ass dances, that's what TikTok's good for. Making
reels,
highlight reels. Just some awesome tunes. So I'm going through a CKY phase at the minute, so I'm using CKY as my backing music. So that was that's it, gentlemen. Thank you for joining. People who are watching, thank you. You are very kind earthlings and humans. And please hit like and subscribe, share, hit the bell so you know when we've uploaded new shit. And leave a comment. Let us know what you think. We want to we want to interact with you guys. We want to know what you're thinking. Leave us the comments. If you think we're talking bollocks, tell us we're talking bollocks, but tell us why we're talking bollocks.
Be nice.
Be
nice to us. It's
not only be nice, call us twats, but at least make it an educated statement. Tell me why I'm a twat. So yeah, that's it, gentlemen. Peace out. We'll see you all very soon.
Thank you. Good evening and bang.